What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another trading recap. Today, we're going to be covering the price action for today. Today is Tuesday, April 28th. I did take a trade today. However, I went break even because I got greedy and I wanted um, the normal amount of money that I normally make. Instead of just catching the one-to-one because I de-risked. I de-risked not on purpose, but just because the MNQ contract size compared to the stop loss tick size was just a little off. And manually calculating it, I like to be a little safer and shave off TP instead of shaving off stop loss. However, today that just cost me on trying to. So in the future, I will just like either pay more attention to the risk or try to shave off stop loss or just take the one-to-one no matter how much money I'm actually gonna get. Because there was like, anyways, I'm gonna cover the targets later. But yeah, went break even. Honestly, felt super shit mentally in today's session. That was mainly due to like me already analyzing everything, and out of curiosity, I checked like Ronan and Cam's shit because I was just bored, and I saw his bias that it was like I agreed with him and had it already in my head, but it kind of made it so like I don't know. I felt really weird about the first setup, which super big mistake. You shouldn't really pay attention to anyone's discretion but your own. So yeah, definitely won't be. I love doing that just because it's super fun. But today it really cost me, and I won't be letting that affect my mind any more than it already did today. So yeah, moving forward, I won't do that. Pretty hard day. If you guys were confused reading price action today, don't really beat yourself up to it. It was pretty conditional heavy. We were bouncing around a lot of PDAs. So in moments like this, you can just step away or just take risk off and just watch and really theorize what market could do because these type of days are hard. However, on such hard days, you can actually get more practice in on hard PA. So I don't know. It's kind of a pro and a con. So yeah, good day to learn on. Super conditional heavy day, but I don't think there should be any losers today. So if you did take a loss, you should low key actually really take today's price action really seriously, journal and learn from it. I will also be sharing my journal, how I journaled today because I journaled pretty heavily at the end of session. So yeah, stay tuned to that and let's get into the actual analysis portion of the video. So I know it's a lot. I charted pretty heavily today. This is just the original distribution that we're distributing from, but I will be marking out this level just so we can get a sense to where we are rebalance wise. So at the where we were in session at pre-market, I saw that we were already sitting in equilibrium of the entire distributed range. Now this um, aligned with what we have is a high time frame SMT. Plus, we're holding this bullish structure very well on the daily gap and on this 2 hour. Um, I don't really like that we're holding this 2 hour because it's already mitigated. But I mean, we also have a 4 hour. I'm not sure if this 4 hour we have an unmitigated 4 hour and we have an unmitigated new day opening gap. So ultimately, we have more towards our sell side, especially with this intermediate low that we could sweep out. However, we are on all-time high conditions, and we do have inefficiencies above that we unmitigated inefficiencies above that we could also draw towards. So ultimately, pretty fucking what's it called? Pretty torn apart between biases. Smarter, no conditions taken into consideration would be the best possible bias would be probably short bias. However, I was leading more bullish just because of all-time high conditions and based on the lower time frame. What do I mean by that? That at the time of pre-market, we were actually already disrespecting this 30-minute going into session, and respecting this 15-minute bullish. So what are we doing? We are disrespecting bearish and respecting bullish. However, we were in this 1 hour bearish for value gap. So honestly, I was either gonna take a continuation short towards these draws, or I wanted to see this get swept for longs, which it ultimately did. Ended up getting swept, putting in an SMT, respecting that gap, getting an amazing fucking one candle inversion. So mechanically, the mechanical criteria for this trade is just off the fucking charts. It's absolutely phenomenal. However, the targets are lacking. The fact that we are in a 1 hour bearish kind of sucks dick. However, we only mitigated the 1 hour once, and we didn't even get to its consequential encroachment. So even if we are bearish, I think the consequential encroachment point of this 1 hour gap is an agreed upon level for price to distribute us to the lower draws. So ultimately, I think this long is an A minus. If I had to be really nitpicky, A. I don't think it fits that A plus criteria just because of its lacking narrative. But overall, I think it's a very good trade to take, and I ended up taking it. Even if its external targets were pretty lacking, I still ended up taking just because it's absolutely like, it's not really, I wouldn't say a pattern trade, but we do get that true manipulation. We get a respected gap. We get that SMT put on. We get the stop hunt. And realistically, we are pretty protected at this time, and we have reason to go higher. So, pretty chill, pretty good trade. I went break even because I was targeting a 2R, which is absolutely retarded. I shouldn't have done that. But why I did it because I actually de-risked on this trade. Because I calculate my lot sizes, my contracts manually. So I de-risked and I wanted to earn what I usually earn, which was a greedy mistake. I should have just taken the 1-to-1 and instead was aiming for the 1-to-2. So yeah, pretty retarded, but ultimately that break even was valid because it led to a loss. So super happy about that break even. A super obvious one. Yeah, you could have either gone break even at the 15-minute gap, 15-minute intermediate high, or at the internal high, at the external internal high of this actual setup. Now, as we close above the consequential encroachment, I'm thinking maybe we could get some continuation longs to the inefficiencies above. However, these setups start to fail and they start to like take really long, and I'm not really a fan of 5 minutes, which were the only setups present. So I ended up fading everything, and price was just chopping, being pretty fucking ass. Also, you guys have to take into consideration that we are also 1 day away from FOMC. So just proceed with caution, especially tomorrow. So, yeah. In addition, we also, yeah, at this point, we are respecting the 1 hour and displacing through bullish PDAs. So now I'm flipped again, and pretty obvious that we're going to the bearish draws, which is absolutely A plus narrative. This is what I want to be seeing in price action. However, we only get a continuation short. I saw a lot of people, even really good traders in my opinion, take this 1 minute, which ended up actually like edging insanely for break even. However, I haven't really seen a lot of people take this, but this 30-second looks absolutely A plus phenomenal. So, yeah, I don't know why no one is really talking about this setup, but I think it's trade of the day, and I wish I would have taken it. But at this point, I was just kind of feeling off the markets, and I was honestly just fucking doom scrolling. So, yeah, let's get into the journal part of the trade. My pre-market notes were that, like, I traded really well today. I really liked how price action looked in my charts. Cam's bias comparing it to mine just made me feel a little uneasy. That was a mental little thing. So I was trying to fix that. Only be curious past session. Take and analyze everything before comparing. This is just me kind of annotating my emotions and mental state of trading, and a little bit to improve. I always put in orange my improvement, my greens just shit to point out, and yeah. Through market, I had high conviction on the long as I thought the draw was higher if we were bullish or bearish. Honestly, this is true. I had high conviction, but on overall the trade, my conviction was actually pretty fucking low. In the future, in high time frame gap can target CE or gap in CE like today. Yeah, so actually today the consequential encroachment of the 1 hour was inside the 15-minute gap that I went break even at. So something to take into consideration for myself. I like that. Going into the future, I want to be, especially if you guys understand draw liquidity and how gaps are mitigated, and they work how they work. So yeah, consequential encroachment of gaps, I'm gonna be taking a little more serious from now on. Ronan definitely shared some thoughts on that. You should probably go check out his videos. But yeah, took the long, but I got break even. I under risk like a fucking idiot. Notes, break even valid, leading to a loss. If I had to risk appropriately, I would have TP'd. But the long was perfect, except for us being in the 1 hour sell side imbalance. Second, full mitigation with perfect mechanical structure. If anything, should have over risked. I disagree with this. I should never over risk. I should have just taken the 1-to-1. I think that's the best course of action, because if you ever shave your stop loss, a stop loss isn't like you losing money. A stop loss is where your trade idea gets invalidated. That's all your stop loss is. So when you're shaving that idea and you get stopped out, it's not your trade idea failing, because it can still go to TP and that'll absolutely piss you off. It's your trade idea being right, but you are a greedy fuck, so you shave your stop loss. So ultimately, I will never over risk. I don't know why I wrote that. I'm probably going to delete that. Sure, just taking the 1-to-1. Focus on risking good. Bump up the confidence, because this week I haven't been very, very confident. I don't know why. Even though I'm like low-key goated, but yeah. Bump up the confidence. No comparison or curiosity till after done with session. CE sauce would have hit full TP on NQ, but got break even on ES. I mean, on MNQ, I meant to write draw, absolutely perfection. My draw was pretty good. Emotions, not as confident as I normally am. I want to fix that 100%. This is my checklist that I have for every trade. Honestly, if you're journaling, this checklist is way more than enough. I just kind of go over the top, and yeah, I want it more than you at the end of the day. So, but you can do a little less. This is the trade that I took. Performance and results were A plus mechanically, but my mental was like at a 76% C plus. So yeah, even though I performed good, I like to nitpick my trade, and over honestly, this is a pretty bad day for me. I normally don't really like it. I don't really classify as a super good day, because I know what my intentions were and I know where my mind was at the time. And yeah, I would have rather taken my loss yesterday than taking this break even that I got today, because I'm more focused on intent and longevity, and this is a like something I really want to avoid in the future. So yeah, that about settles it. And